All right, so this is our official March 2021 Love Story Board meeting. Who we have present is Viviany and James and myself, and we are now going to go over the 2020 annual report as the first item on our agenda. This is something that actually, because I started applying for the Connolly Foundation, they asked for it, so it really inspired me to like give a bird's eye view on the accomplishments we've created last year, and also to keep us focused on what we plan on doing and what our organization is about. So this could be found under About, and then you could find it under 2020 Annual Report. You could also find it in the mission statement. So here is the mission and the vision. So really, mission's focus is on shadow work and why that's so important. And this is where we meet most people when they first start. It's shadow work and storytelling. And part of that shadow work is artist inspired journaling, peer to peer group journaling, what we call the Mirror Darkly, and artist performances journaling, which we're consistently doing once a month at the end of every Saturday of every month in the morning and evenings since November of 2020. The vision is also now more precise. Here's a quote from James Pennebaker about how expressive writing is highly effective and scientifically proven to address mental health issues. And our community are journal artists, and this is what we do. I have a CEO letter, like most annual reports out there from nonprofits, and I've added some numbers in terms of DIY journaling at the Love Story portal according to our Google Analytics last year, and also how many people actually journaled. Um, this is actually higher, averaging, it's actually 4.5 people per session in 2020. So I just wanted to clarify that because I did count all the RSVPs and numbers. So we have hard numbers to to go over, and James will go over that later. And then yeah, we started the artist showcases with the journal artists journaling. I think the next step for this is to capture data, whether it's a survey or whatnot, and maybe that's something we could talk over in a different meeting, with Viviany and Katie on that, how to capture the data. And then the Love Story Playbook, we're going to be designing that program this year. The producer's playbook is, I would say, 90% optimized now. We just need to figure out the operational flow to make it smooth, and we need to create a certification program for mentors and producers and facilitators. Let's see. And these are we published five books last year in 2020. So Viviany, Katie, myself, Callie, Tamara. So that was pretty exciting. And this year, hopefully, it would be Sarah, Chelsea, um, and Bry. Hopefully, um, we're gonna have I think maybe in the next meeting this month, or this month going into next month, we could talk about uh, ways of enticing members to join Act One, so we can really start the process of bringing them in and committing to their journey, their personal growth. So we're going to brand it all under the Love Story Playbook, which includes the producer's playbook. The Love Story Playbook is somewhere in the middle. It's going to be the producer's playbook, the Love Story Playbook, the Journal Artist Playbook. It's basically done but the whole thing is called the Love Story Playbook. And the whole premise is that we're going to transform our tragedy into a divine comedy in 7 acts. And by the 7th act, it's taking all the journal entries and turning it into historical novel. But being able to see the suffering here and the silver lining here, that's our hope anyway. At least allow people to become empowered. This is the shadow work, shadow integration, and then the historical novel, cultural heritage, memory capsules, like literary works. It'll be very exciting. Any questions so far on this? Okay, great. And then the program services, and what's distinct from the our flagship program, which is our expressive writing program in 7 acts. What's different between this and this is that the program services are mostly free. I say mostly because we're going to rely on philanthropists, foundations, private and corporate donors to support this program for other services that we offer. So we want to run the publication advertisement free. We want to continue expanding on the group expressive writing programs. And this year in 2020, we're going to put all our resources on just funding this program and perhaps this program. Just program 1 and 2. I think that's mostly our focus. If we could grow this program and scale it, that would be amazing. Actually, I take that back. 1, 2, and 3, because 3 is actually going to feed content into 1. And it goes hand in hand because the expressive vlogumentary program will help teach people how to interview and create their own miniature vlogumentary so that they could publish it on the Love Story publication and bring in more content while experiencing their own mental and cathartic healing when they interview someone. And honestly, like video editing is its own form of journaling, creative expression. So vlogging is actually a very, I would say, progressive way of journaling nowadays. So if we could implement that program, it would feed into this program. Let's see. And this, of course, will be our focus possibly for 2022. The certification, the artist series, and the scholarships, depending on how we grow, how fast we grow. Any questions on the program services? All right, great. Revenue for 2020 was all pretty much in kind, and only 2% of it was based on cash donations. And we have our top financial donors here listed, and then our in-kind donors here. Okay, and then program services, and then fundraising. So we've spent most of our in-kind on just building the program services. So if you look here, a lot of what we did last year was all like a heart, like we all donated our time, we all volunteered, and we all like interviewed and video edited and like built the website all in kind. So it really has been just a labor of love here. So 99% of our in kind went towards program services, and only 0.1% went towards fundraising, which we need to ramp up this year because we just need to get more grant writers, and we need to have a strategy, a business strategy to target the relevant foundations for a specific program. And I think looking back, I was doing too much. And there was just a lot of things happening at once. And it was almost like our Achilles heel was like, there's too many things that, we need focus. So I think in 2021, our focus is getting grant funding for program service 2. And then from there, we can talk about program service 1 and 3. All right, accomplishments for 2020. We completed our pilot, at least 1.0, we've completed it. But now 2021, we're doing some 2.0 piloting, but also we're launching the official membership for Act 1, 2, and 3. Mirror Darkly Expressive Writing Group started in May of 2020, piloted it for a month or two, and it expanded. And then we published the Love Story Journal Volume 3. We've had two live artist performances. It was Marlena Smith and Elsa Kennedy for 2020. That was amazing. And as you can see here, this is the evolution of our Mirror Darkly workshops. We started piloting it here. We got 4 people from outside our in-group, and we got $2.05 in donations. In July, we had a total of 43 people, and we didn't get any donations that month, and we averaged 2 people per session. In August, we had 184 people with an average of 4 people per session, and we got a $20 donation in total. And in September, we had a total of 332 people, averaging 5 people per session. We offered 67 free journaling workshops. In October, we offered 44. We had 190 people. We averaged 4 people per session. In November, we offered 39 journaling workshops. We totaled 288 people, and we averaged 7 people per session. And then in December, we offered 48, totaled 221 at 5 people per session. And I rounded up some of the numbers if they were, based on like just pure mathematical stuff. And then these are the people that donated in kind in 2020. And then we have a video here. And then we have our annual report. So that's the summary of our accomplishments in 2020. And this will keep us focused for 2021 as well, because it sets us up on, now that we know, and because we had the annual report, I was able to create the links for program service 1 through 6. And then we're also able to optimize the producer's playbook program. Now that we're clear on what is our bread and butter expressive writing. So this is the landing page most people will see when they are considering a membership for Act 1. And again, this is, as you can see, it's very similar to the annual report, but the language is slightly different, and the pricing is right here. And we have our membership. Now, James and I have went back and forth on it, on like whether or not we should do yearly Mirror Darkly workshops or lifetime. But for now, we're gonna do lifetime until anything changes, until it doesn't make any financial sense anymore. Like right now, we just don't have that problem. And we want to have that problem. We want to have a problem where so many people are coming in and we just don't have the operational capacity to get everyone, serviced. But right now we don't even have that problem. So we're going to offer lifetime until, like I said, until something changes and it makes more fiscal sense to change the business plan. So that's my presentation. James, would you like to share yours now?
Sure, of course. Let me know when I'm able to show. I'm able to share screen. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off what Min just said, yeah, so we were debating about the lifetime membership. Something that we also had thought about is, maybe when we reach a threshold of of 1,000 lifetime members or 2,000 lifetime members, we would utilize the pool of funds that we have and invest it into technology that does track the memberships. And then that way it does also create value for the first 1,000 or 2,000 members that join us. So what we had decided to do was to break down the the workshops into three different types of fee structures. There's the pay-as-you-go, which is $5 per workshop. Then there is the monthly pass, which is unlimited workshops for the month, but it's $15. And then there's also the annual pass, which is for $75 year round. Go as much as you like. Beyond that $75 threshold, for $111, 222, 333, for 2 and 3, that grants that lifetime membership. So when we're approaching the Connolly Foundation for a grant, the showcase is going to be our program service 2, which is the group Mirror Darkly Expressive Writing Program. And what we've done is we've broken down our budget into 2 categories. There's the categories with the grant, and then what it looks like with the grant. So right now, what it looks like is we're looking to average roughly about 5 members that are able to pay the monthly pass every for the specific quarter, and that's going to come out to be roughly about $75 at $15 each. We're looking to average about my apologies, 3 members per month, 5 members per month. So we're looking to average about 3 members per month for the annual pass, which is at $75. So that's going to be about $225. And then for these workshops, we're looking at roughly about 15 members per month that will pay the $5 fee to get into the workshop. That's not associated with the monthly, annual, or lifetime membership. So that's going to be the additional $75. And with our committed $250 from our private donors, we're looking at a total anticipated and committed income of roughly about $625. So right now, as it stands, our costs are broken down into our hosting, which is roughly about $150. Right now, we are not paying any of the facilitators for the workshops, but we are paying a $33 meetup advertising cost, and we are paying a coordinator $45, which is 3 hours of work every month at $15 per hour to coordinate and schedule all of these workshops. So in total, as it stands, we're roughly at about $228. And so with the income that we receive, our net amount after expenses is $397. Now, one thing to take into consideration is that right now we're hosting roughly about 30 workshops every month. And with that, we're looking at roughly about 90 people within these 30 workshops. So roughly about an average of 3 people per workshop. And when we're looking at having a pool of 90 people, and we're looking at 5 people signing up for the monthly pass, 3 people signing up for the annual pass, our conversion rate is roughly about 5.56% for the monthly pass and roughly about 3.33% for the annual pass. And so have these numbers in mind as we get into what does it look like when we go into this grant environment. And so when I want to explain the grants, I sort of want to go into the expenses first, right? So first of all, we're looking to receive a $5,000 grant for the quarter, which breaks it down to roughly about $1,666.67 for the month. And what that's going to allow us to do is with this grant money, we're planning to do a couple of things. First thing, what we're planning to do is scale up our workshops so that we're roughly running at about 90 workshops per month. And the grant money will actually allow us to pay the hosts roughly about $15 per workshop. What it also allows us to do, because now we're at the point of paying the host, it allows us to guarantee these workshop times. And because we're paying the host, they're more committed to these workshops. The second thing that we're looking to do is actually reduce the barrier of entry when it comes to these workshops. So although we believe that at $5 to go into the workshop, there's a lot of value for that $5. But for some people, for the people that we're trying to help, that $5 still might be a barrier of entry. So what the grant allows us to do is basically remove that last barrier of entry. So what we're doing is we're gonna allow people to join the workshops for free. We're paying the host so we are able to scale the workshops from 30 to 90 per month, have the workshops consistent, and we're hoping to increase the average people in these workshops roughly from 3 to 8. So just by doing the math, right, 8 times 90, so we're looking to scale from 90 people attending per month roughly to about 720 people per month. And so applying the same conversion rates that we spoke about, previously, right, at 5.56% for conversion for members that pay the new members that pay the monthly fee, and a 3.33% conversion for new members that pay the annual pass. We're looking to add a total of 40 new members based off of those conversion rates that is willing and able to pay the monthly pass, which is 40 more people paying $15 per month. We're also looking at about 24 more people paying the $75 per year for the annual pass. So for a second, that's actually, the math is a little, sorry, the formula is a little off. It should actually be C5.
Oh, I put at, that's why, James.
Yeah.
You could delete the at. Cell C5, you could delete the at if you want.
But I can just keep it this way.
Okay.
It's and then okay. So this is the little tricky part, especially when we're coming up with this budget, is that first we get the grant money, we scale up the amount of people that are attending our meetings from 90 to 720 people per month. So the first month we're probably not expecting to receive this income, but hopefully within the second and third month, what we do is we have 40 more people join for the monthly pass, 24 more people join for the annual pass. So hopefully by the end of the quarter, what our monthly budget actually looks like for income wise is $600 from the monthly pass, $1,800 for the annual pass. We're not going to get any income associated with general admission, because at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're utilizing that grant money and removing that barrier of entry, right?
Yep.
We're gonna continue to have our $250 from our private donors with the $1,666.67 from the grants. We're looking at a total income of $4,317. So with or without the grant, our hosting costs the same, our advertising costs the same, and our coordinator costs the same. So let me just make sure that is about $33. There you go. What changes is, as I had mentioned previously, we're now starting to pay the hosts to facilitate these workshops. So for the 90 workshops at $15 each, it's going to cost roughly $1,350. So our total expense goes up to $1,578. But with the increased income, our net after expenses will be $2,738.67. And that's money that we can use towards our other program services or to expand this program further and to continuously have more of these either reduce general admission fees or whatever else. So at this point, do we have any questions?
No, it looks great.
And the numbers down here, they're just basically the same numbers on the top, but they're annualized.
Awesome. Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
All right.
Viviany, I'm gonna figure out how to make you host so you can share screen.
I don't think I need to be host because I'm not really gonna share my screen because I don't have much to present on. I'm just gonna give a brief run through of what I've been doing. So yeah, this month I haven't been able to host another interdepartmental meeting just because I've been backed up with my university stuff. But I'm planning on actually setting up the doodle for next week because I think there's still the showcase, and I can't remember which is the other department that's in the bottom, but those were the last two that still have to meet, which is basically the same people, but just to have that meeting in between them. Um, what else? As for the company culture, I know Mingjie has been sending me a couple of handbooks and all that, and I have looked through them. So when I actually start actively writing for that, I think one of my priorities is actually gonna start to do an employee handbook and a volunteer handbook because I know you, Minji, had sent me a couple of guides to get me going. So I think those are gonna be the first two things that I'm gonna focus on. I already have the whistleblower policy because it was one of the first things that you mentioned, and I started to write on that, and it's done already. And also I haven't finished it, but the document retention as well. I already have that mostly done as well. So yeah, that's been basically it. I'm just working on the handbook. I was gonna actually mention because I do have the survey for the workshops this month only. There has been very people showing up for workshops, but I think it's because a lot of people took a break this month as well. Because I believe Katie isn't hosting, Callie isn't hosting. I think Bry isn't hosting either. So I think it's just been Chelsea, Sarah, Minji, and I hosting. So that's why I think in the survey I've only got like maybe 20 people that have showed up. But yeah, that's basically my presentation. I don't have much to say.
Yeah, I like to add to that. One is why don't we leverage the interdepartmental meetings to just focus on employee culture, work
Oh,
culture. That way you
yeah.
knock two birds with one stone. And to be quite frank, I'm currently running the artist inspired showcases anyway, me and Katie.
Mm,
So it's like a
okay.
very small crew because it's all done online. So it wouldn't be I think you would get more engagement cross departmentally if we all came together to co-create the company culture policy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah,
Awesome.
I think I'm gonna do that then. Yeah,
And then
it'd be better because I know the last meeting we had, just the words helped me a ton, and I have that on screenshot, and I'm gonna use that of course when I start doing the handbooks and all that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna actually start doing that. Yeah.
And then another thing is over the weekend, I did a lot of counting of the numbers of like last year's 2020. And I also paid attention to how many people, like, what are the most popular times? So I
Yeah.
have a whole list of the most popular times. And currently, we don't, part of the reason why we're getting so low numbers is we're not presenting the workshops as at those popular times. So
Yeah.
for
Do you remember what those times were?
Yeah, I'll give it to you right now. It's Monday at 10. I'll post it. I'll post it in a separate doc. But just to give you an idea, it's Friday at 8 a.m., Sunday at 3 p.m., Wednesday 10 a.m., Sunday 3 p.m., Saturday 10
Oh,
a.m.
wait, wait, you're going too quickly.
Oh, you know what? Let me just copy and paste it, James, so you have it all right there.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. But I was just listing it off for the sake of listing it off, but I have more too. Like I have more because
Are those Pacific time or Eastern time?
I made it specific. So some of them are PST, some of them are EST. So
Yeah, because I remember I used to have mine at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and I always had about 3 people show up. But it's very weird because I think when I actually changed them to the night, people were still coming. So I really don't know what to say. But I have noticed, I did tell you that in the survey, I think it was in January, the workshop check-in. Whenever I think it was Callie, or I don't remember who it was, but someone had a workshop before mine and everybody would go to hers. And since mine was right after, like nobody would show up for mine. So I think I had mentioned to you that maybe we could find those specific better times and then like leave a 2 hour space in between just to have that diversity and different times and
Wow,
not everything is meshed up together.
that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's one of the things that I had seen in the workshop check-in just in January. I was only in January, and I noticed that a lot of people I used to host, I think it was on Tuesdays, someone was right before me and nobody ever. My workshops on Tuesday were always empty. So yeah.
yeah, I'm not
And
getting
I think we should also start. You're not getting any on
I'm
your
not getting anybody
workshops?
at my 6 p.m., which is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard
My
Time.
time, yeah.
But it makes sense because I'm looking at the most popular times and it's not there. So I need to change my times.
Yeah, for sure.
Ah,
I was also gonna say that we should host more Black Lives Matter discussions because I know some people have come from my workshops and they've gone to a Black Lives discussion or just they have heard of it, they saw it on the meetup, but they weren't able to do it on that time. So I think it's also an option to do another day.
Well, you'll have to pitch that to Sandy since she runs it now.
And
But do you know that Tamara and Sandy have rebranded it?
yeah, I know they did. I know there's a different name because Sandy had mentioned it to me. Yeah.
BIPOC, by
Yeah.
Black, Indigenous, people of color. So they want to make it more inclusive, and they
Yeah.
changed it from yeah, it's like racial justice now. So it's more of a positive
Yeah,
spin.
I know she had mentioned it to me. Yeah. So I guess that's something that I have to pitch to her, but yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much our meeting today. I think moving forward for between now and, mid-April, we'll just focus on grant writing. Right now, it's me, Christina, Adam, and Grace has been off for a couple weeks, so I'm gonna see if I could bring her back. And then also, there's been a few college, I would say college, uh, what is their title? The people that are in charge of bringing interns to us. Anyway, they're interested in us like offering internships. So I'm gonna push for grant writers so we can like boost up our grant writing team again because we need to get this funded, this program funded. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for this today's board meeting and